Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome in. Happy Friday. So, first of all, wow, I was off last week. And so I really noticed the difference. I had I had some appointments that were necessary things that I do every year around that time, which is an annual thing that I do actually usually happens in September, but this year it happened in October. So I just want to say hello to everybody. And if you're just joining, welcome in and you are brand new to this channel. Hi, my name is Carey. So I am a medium and a mentor. And on my channel, I do readings regularly here. And I also provide coaching, mentorship guidance for my community. So that's what we do every Friday. We have a live stream and we do several things. So I just want to say welcome in if you're just joining us. I'm also going to be streaming live on TikTok, which I'm just starting that now. Starting them at the same time usually kind of throws me off. So I'm going to go ahead and just say hello. I hope that you are all well. And please feel free to say hello in the chat. It's always so fun to get to know a lot of new friends. If you're joining again, if you guys are new, just to let you know, I am here both on TikTok and also the tube of you. So if you're joining for the first time, please feel free to say hello. And if you don't know what this is all about, well, stay tuned because we're going to be having a wonderful evening together. Let me just get rid of this guy. And hi, everybody. Welcome. So I'm going to quickly get rid of, I have a little too many things going on up here. So welcome in, friends. It's so good to see you guys. Let me end that part. And it's good to see you guys. So if you're new to my channel or my page, welcome in. So my name is Carey. I am a medium and a mentor, and I come live regularly and do readings as well as channeled messages. So every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm here both on TikTok and I'm also on the tube of you. So you can go to either place, and these are going to be collective messages. And so I'll explain to everybody more about that. So either way, you can either be here on TikTok or you can be on the tube of you, whichever platform you like. So welcome in. And if you're new to my page, please feel free to say hello. Now, I do float between both. My eyes float between both places. So be patient while I go back and forth, but I'll tell you guys a little bit about what I do. Hello. I go back and forth between the tube of you and also on TikTok. So I'll explain to you all what this is about. So none of these will be personal readings tonight. However, they will be channeled messages for the collective. So I do this every Friday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Typically, I do this mostly on the tube of you. And mainly is because the format is a little, I want to say a little more gentle and easier to do, but I'm on both platforms. So you can go to either one. If you need to know where they are, you can go to my picture. Thank you so much for joining my team. You can go to my picture and find out. So that's what we're doing. So essentially, this is the list of what I do every Friday. So the first thing I do is I work with a collective of goddesses. And so hello. Welcome in, everybody here on the tube of you. Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. So I do collective. So I'm a medium and a mentor, but I also do collective messages, working with the group of goddesses I work with. So typically one of them comes forward, and so we always have sort of like a guardian goddess. Sometimes we have one of the gods or one of the archangels comes in, but I do a channeled message from them. Sometimes I do trance mediumship, like similar to what you see with like Bashar or Abraham Hicks. It's the same type of thing. Or else I just do more of a telepathic message for them. And then I do Akashic Records readings for the collective. So And it's just really, what do we need to know today? So if you like that kind of content, this is going to be something you're going to really enjoy. So you can be in either place. I'm here on TikTok, but I'm also on YouTube. So if you guys don't know me, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I have been a psychic medium, energy healer, and medium for over 35 years. And so I do a variety of things. Of course, I do private readings, I do coaching, mentorship, and I also train people to develop their abilities, as well as, and that is with mediumship, psychism, energy healing, and also working in the Akashic Records. So if you don't know the Akashic Records, I'll sort of explain them over time, what they are, if you haven't heard of them, and how to work in them, basically. Thank you for the follow. So that's what I do every single, everything. Yeah, I love Fridays. Friday's like my favorite day. This is my favorite live stream that I do. So if you guys, thank you so much for joining my club. And please know, I am paying attention to you over on TikTok. I'm also on the tube of you. So if you like that kind of experience, you can definitely come over to the tube. And all that information's in my profile. So tonight, what we're really doing more is collective readings. Oh, hi, it's nice to meet you. Thank you for saying hello. So anyway, I am not doing private readings tonight. I'm doing collective readings. So this is really more when hello, good to see you, Amber. Collective readings are more for usually the students that I work with, for the clients I work with, and for the collective I work with. Good evening. So it's a little different format than what a lot of the time what you see on TikTok. And so I actually wrote it. You guys would be proud of me over here on YouTube. I actually wrote down the list of different things that I channel. So if you like more educational content, so we're not doing any private readings today. I'll probably come on tomorrow morning and do those if you're interested, but these are for the collective. So it's a little bit named. So all the information for my tube channel is right. If you go to my picture, the link is right there. It's the same exact name is the one that I have here. Yeah, I love collective reads too. And so this is something that I find to be really helpful for a lot of people because they get to understand energetics. Now, certainly not everything is going to resonate with every person. So please use your discernment. Thank you so much, Christy. So a little bit of a different type of content. Now, know that if I'm not looking at you, I'm a very much an eye contact person. So just know that if I'm not looking at you guys in the eye, just know I am definitely with you. Let me move this over just a tiny bit, then it might help me. Just sorry, guys, on the tube. I'm just moving this camera slightly so I can have a little bit of a better perspective. Hey, guys, thank you for your patience. That way it's a little closer to the eye level of both. That's a little better. That way my eyes are kind of at least a little closer together. So thanks everybody for being here. It's good to see everybody. So if you're wondering, what are we doing here tonight? These are all going to be collective readings. Okay. So, and you can kind of see what we're doing. So feel free to sit back, relax, enjoy. Again, I'm also on the tube, and that's a really nice experience too, because I have it's a little quieter over here. So if you kind of enjoy that sort of thing, it's up to you though. You can go on any platform. So on what I'm going to do here is I'm going to also show my collective, what we are working on tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. We will put this up here as well. So we'll get this. Let me just get that for you guys. Okay. So tonight, happy Friday. Welcome in. Okay. So tonight, what we're doing is every Friday I do this. So what I'm connecting in is I'm connecting. First of all, I get a channeled message from one of the goddesses I work with. Okay. And sometimes it can be one of the gods. It can also be one of the archangels. And sometimes I do trance channeling, which means that I bring them through and they move through my energy and then they bring the message. That can happen. I find that though, TikTok's not as much of a fan of that. So I'll probably do more of a channeled message where they'll give me information and then I'll share it with you guys. This is something I've been doing for many, over 25 years. So that's a little bit about my background if you're interested. And then we're going to do an Akashic Records message. So the Akashic Records, essentially, most of you might have heard of it, but that's the fifth dimension. It's the easiest way to explain it. And really, it is the library of not only your soul and your soul's entire history, but it also is connected to it's the history of humanity, as well as consciousness of humanity. So you can get a lot of wisdom, guidance, information, right? That's how it works. And then we actually do zodiac readings. So we go through the different elements. Hey guys. Yes, I'll definitely talk about which goddesses I work with. I'm excited for you to come in to listen to this too. Thank you for being here. I'll definitely talk about that in just a second. This is exciting because we always start with the goddesses. Hi, Midge. So yes, and then when we do the zodiac readings, we actually do them by element. So we do air, and then we do earth, and then we do water, and then we do fire. So if you're interested in that, I think it's a really I love these. And so I really just encourage you to take it in, see if it resonates for you. This is, part of being a channeler, something I've been channeling for 35 years. Thank you for the follow. And so for me, it's just a natural part of what I do in my work. And so I like to share it. So this is every Friday night. This is the live stream. Welcome in, everybody. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're new, please keep tapping the screen. I can't promote as much what I'm doing because I'll be working pretty busy with this. So if you guys can just remember to share, follow, keep tapping the screen. Let's try to get that number to 10 or 20,000. That would be amazing. And then if you do the daily heart me, that helps a lot. The last thing we do at the very end is we connect with the ancestors. So we don't do a single mediumship reading. Sometimes one soul will come through, but it's much more about the collective. Am I glitchy? Let me know. I have pretty good reception, but let me know. Thank you so much for being here. It's a little glitchy. I apologize. It's raining pretty hard here, so I don't know if that's part of it. So welcome in, everybody. Okay. So someone asked me, which goddesses do I work with? So a couple things about me. Again, this is going to be kind of an educational and I would say it's pretty educational. That's what it is. I think it is. At least thank you so much. I find this to be pretty educational. It's not glitching for you. Okay. Thanks, Mama Bear. So someone said, it's really raining here. It's really raining. I live in Oregon. It's pretty rainy. Okay. So, I work with I'm a Magdalene Rose priestess. So I tend to work with a collective of goddesses, but we can sometimes bring new ones in. So I work with several of the Celtic goddesses. I work with some of the Hellenic goddesses. So I work with Hecate. And sometimes we work with Persephone, Hestia. And then we work with some of the Norse goddesses, mostly Freya. She's kind of really strong in there. And then also we work with Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, and I work a lot with Mary Magdalene because I'm a Magdalene Rose priestess. So it just depends. But then again, sometimes, and this is what most people who come all the time, sometimes last time we had Odin. It's glitching. Okay. Well, hopefully it gets better, guys. I'll keep trying. I don't really know what else to do, but if you can also come check me out. I am on the tube of you if you want. The reception is pretty good. Your daughter's name is Freya. Oh, that's so beautiful. Okay, so we're going to get started. So this is what we're going to be doing. And then feel free. I'm not quite as engaged in the audience. Yeah, someone said it's kind of glitchy, so I apologize. I think it's not glitching for you. Thanks for tapping. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to be closing my eyes for this part. Okay. It's fine for you. First, we're going to be doing the goddess message, more than likely. That's good. But at the same time, last time we were met, last week we didn't meet, but this last 2 weeks ago, Odin came through. So Odin came through last time, so we'll just have to see. Okay, guys? So I know I have a few of my regulars over on TikTok. So if you guys, I'm going to be closing my eyes. Just keep everybody informed. Keep tapping the screen, sharing the live. I'm going to be closing my eyes for a while. So if you guys can just relax. If you have questions, we'll let you know. But we're starting with the goddess message, okay? And we'll just see what happens. Okay. I'm so glad. Nice to meet you, Callie. Good to see you guys. Okay. So I'm closing my eyes for this part. I'll be with you guys in a second. Let's see who's coming in. Okay. I was wondering if she would come in. She hasn't come in yet. But I think we have a few goddesses here, but I'm going to go with the one that came first. So we actually have the goddess Kuan Yin here today. And if you don't know about Kuan Yin, she is an incredible goddess. She just something briefly about her as a soul. So she, I believe, hails from China originally, and she is known for being incredibly kind and merciful and having deep compassion. She tends to work a lot with those that need that sense of self-love, self-respect, healing, understanding, and also that deal with like deep heartbreak. So I feel her energy coming forward. So we'll just bring her in and see what she has to say. Again, I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do more a relayed message from her to all of you, or if I'm going to do trance channeling. So we'll just see what she says. Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is a wonderful time to gather together. It is so wonderful to see so many of you here looking for guidance, wisdom, and clarity. These are some of the hardest things to find when times are difficult, are they not? And so we hope today that we can prepare you for taking flight, because many of you at this moment are spreading your wings and learning to fly. So you are not feeling as trapped and limited in some of the places that you've been in your life in the past. Many of you are evolving past relationships that have been troubled and difficult. Many of you are separating from those that would drag your energy down to a lower vibration. And many of you are looking to expand, learn, and grow. What we would say to all of you is to encourage you to be sure to engage in what feels right for you. And often they ask, what does it mean to have something feel right? Well, feeling right is when something resonates deeply within you, when you feel a sense of harmony and balance and ease, when you feel as though you're being held in a space of preciousness. And this is a very important time now to feel that. The world that you live in is separated from this level of respect and kindness that we would encourage you to try and seek and find, whether that be with family, friends, or in the environment that you find yourself in. Try to find the place of mercy and kindness. We ask that you release the chip that might be on your shoulders, what you carry as a burden, to know that you're not here by yourselves. There, you are a part of a greater family and community. You see, now on the earth, many of you are beginning to ascend to higher levels of consciousness. And what does that mean exactly? It means that you're separating yourself from being separate from the one. The one is the true divine. This is part of who you are. You are divinity. So please remember this. We understand that you have quite a lot to do this evening, so we will keep our comments brief, but we want you to know that we are always available to you. All you need to do is ask, and you will be surrounded. Be well, friends. Wow. She came in so beautifully. That was amazing. Oh, so nice. Absolutely beautiful. That was Kuan Yin. And many wonderful souls have worked with Kanyen. Thank you so much for that. So if you're joining us, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. So if you guys don't know me, welcome. My name is Carey. I am a medium and a mentor. I've been channeling actually for 35 years, believe it or not. I started when I was just starting out on my path in my 20s. I do this in usually for my community, my clients, with my students, but I'm doing it a little bit more with in public. So in these settings for new people. So I hope that the vibration sets well with you. I also want to let you know if you want to come, we are also on the Tube of You. I'm glad that was grounding. Yes. And you know what? The thing about the goddesses is they are they're very grounding. So they are, they are meant to make us connected in our lives, in our physical reality, in our bodies. They want us to feel connected and whole to our earth experience. So a lot of people, when they start on their spiritual path, which is very understandable, and you go towards getting information, you want to just, if whatever places you're finding yourself in, whether it be you're in a class, or maybe you're getting a reading with someone, or you're hearing people on social media and they're talking about the ascension path and awakening, the thing I would suggest for everyone, and we can all learn something for this, is do the thing that feels the most validating to you, the one that makes you feel calm, the one that makes you feel soothed, the one that makes you feel like this feels good to me. Because sometimes we hear messages that sound very exciting and maybe even a little bit, like almost otherworldly. And while some of those messages can be wonderful, they're not always based in grounded experience. And so just try to use your discernment just when it comes to caring for yourself. That's my biggest advice. Okay. So feel free. So now this is what we're moving into next. We're going to be going into the Akashic Records. So if you don't know what the Akashic Records are, and if you guys do me a favor, if you know about the Akashic Records, can you guys put thank you. And thank you for the follow. If you guys know about the Akashic Records, can you guys put a green emoji in the chat? I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for being here, Dutsmoy. Nice to meet you. If you know about the Akashic Records, I'm going to probably do a tiny bit of thank you. Okay, so Soul and Sparkle knows. Lisa knows. Fantastic. Monique, yay. Allison, thank you guys for being here. We always like to know. I love that. So I'll explain. Thank you, Spicy Tammy. So I'll explain a little bit about the Akashic Records. I'll just do a little bit of, oh, good. I'm so glad. Lots of people know. That's great. Okay, good. So just for those a couple people, if you're sort of new to it, I'll basically explain what it is. Thank you for the follow. So the Akashic Records is like one of the places where I really specialize in. Although I do, of course, development of psychic abilities, energy healing. I am a medium. I train people to do all those things. I've been doing all that for a very, very long time. And I also help people work to discover their own Akashic Records. So the Akashic Records are really the fifth dimension. Okay. And if we look at the dimensions of reality, right? We're in the third dimension here. Most of us are, but our soul's history and the information there is found in the fifth dimension, which is the Akashic Records. And essentially that's the fifth dimension. The Akashic Records are really the energetic history of your soul. That is where you, when you learn to tap into it, you are entering into a place of clarity, love, unconditional knowledge. You can connect with the masters there, the archangels. You can also receive guidance, healing, and you can do very deep healing work on blockages, as well as things that just in general throw off your life path. So I'm going to be talking more about this in the coming months. I have a course that I teach on it, things like that. Hello, welcome in everybody. Thank you guys for the gifts. That means a lot. I'm also on the Tube of You. So if you do want to join me over here, I recommend. Now I do more long form video and channeled messages on Tube of You. So if you guys are interested, and most of my students know this, Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll talk more about these things, but definitely check out the Tube channel because I channel messages. I give a lot of wisdom guidance, but I also do these over there. So you definitely want to join. It's a little more intimate, and there's a lot of great videos. You can kind of binge watch them and make sure you say, "Hey, it's me" in there. Okay. So what I'm doing when I'm tapping into the Akashic Records, this Akashic Records message is going to be for the collective, this collective. And as always, if it resonates with you, fantastic, right? It's very cozy over there. It's very cozy on YouTube. So it is wonderful to be able to tap into a collective message because that means that I'm channeling from the guides there and they'll be able to give me the messages this group needs. Now, sometimes I use cards. I tend to hear, see, sense, and feel the Akashic Records. And because I work with them so regularly, I'm very comfortable. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to tap in and then you guys can go ahead and just keep tapping the screen. Just enjoy yourself. We can talk about things in general in between, but thank you for being here. Again, I do this every Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do this every Friday night. So typically I've been doing it a lot on the Tube because it's just a little bit, it's where I got it started and they are kind of used to live streaming too, but I'm starting to do it over here as well. Okay. All right. So let me tap in and see what messages are coming through right away. Okay. The other thing, usually I always get the message the card. I'll pull that out in a minute for the goddess that we have. So before we're in, yes, this is all spirit led. And these are, hang on, channeled messages for the collective. Okay. So we're going to get out Kuan Yin's card. Yes, we're not doing private, although I'm probably going to come on live tomorrow morning and do some, I'll give everybody an opportunity if they want to purchase a reading. I do that too. I have a kind of a busy weekend. I'm doing a private party here. I'm doing a reading for 20 women tomorrow night here in Oregon. So I have to be mindful of my energy as I'm sure everybody can imagine who is a healer or a light worker. So we'll do that. Okay. All right, let me just get Kuan Yin's card. I think I have her in here, so stay tuned. I like to do, okay, right away, here she is. So here is Kuan Yin's card. I'll show it to my other collective here. So that's Kuan Yin. We always leave her card out. Most of you, ooh, that's bright. We always, thank you guys. We always leave Kuan Yin's or the card out for the guest goddess of the week right there. Okay, let me see what I'm getting. And this is going to be messages for the collective. Again, my readings tend to be very spiritually based in nature. That's typically what I'm doing, what you're working on, what you're letting go of, what to be mindful of. And I also just did on my Tube of You channel. Thank you so much for that. Go Popular. On my Tube of You channel today, I just released the energy reading for the month of November. So be sure to check that out. I just uploaded that. So let's just tap in and see what we're getting. I'm going to just do a little bit of shuffling and then I'm going to open up the Akashic Records for this collective and we're going to see what we're getting. Okay. So the first thing that I'm hearing from the Akashic Records for many people, and I have been feeling this in my own energy, is this energy of fight or flight. Okay. So I'm going to close my eyes from this because I tend to see a lot when I'm in there. So this is something I got in meditation yesterday, everybody. So yesterday in meditation, when I sat down with my guides in the Akashic Records, they said, you don't need to do anything. You have done everything. Okay. And what you need to do now is you just need to let go and let it unfold. Okay. So I'm going to say this to all of you if this resonates. You've already done all the prep work for what you're working on manifesting and experiencing. But I do believe that many of you are feeling anxious and as though you're missing something. And though you can still almost sense the things that you've just worked on. Okay. Now, when we do deeper healing work on ourselves, sometimes the energy of what we just let go of is in the periphery of our aura. So you have to know when you're working on energy and energy healing, yourself in your own aura, what will happen is, because you have many layers to your aura, when you've done deeper work on your and on which starts in your chakra system closer to your physical body, and then things start moving out into the outer layers, you can still feel like, why is this coming up again? I thought I worked on this already, but you're just working on another layer of it, and it's pushing its way out of your aura. Okay. So even if you feel a little bit like, I've already done this, don't doubt the work you've already done. It's important to know that you're just getting another layer of it. And the way my guides say this to me is, it's kind of like a chemical peel. When you get a chemical peel, it goes in the deepest layers. I have never gotten one, but I know this is the example they're saying. When you've done a chemical peel, like a spiritual chemical peel, you go into the deepest layers of your energy to root it out and move it to the periphery. But when it's on the outer layer, it gets worse before it gets better. So you notice it. So that's, the guides were really giving me that. And even just before I popped on the live tonight, I could feel in my third chakra, which is at your solar plexus, which I believe is for the collective, this sense of nervousness and anxiety. And when I tapped in, my guide said to me about this specifically, this is what the collective is feeling, and they are about to release it. So stay grounded. Okay. So don't feel like you have to go do something to fix anything or to get your manifestation down. Okay. Because you've already done the work. And now is the time for trust. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Okay, so right away, I'm going to give you I'm going to show you a few corresponding cards. Right away, we're getting the shadow card. Okay, shadow card. And then we're getting boundaries. Okay, what you have to understand now, everybody, this is the Akashic Records reading for the collective again, is that those of you who are in this live stream, I'm sure you're already on your spiritual path more consciously, right? Understand that. Those are the people that I tend to spiritual onion. Exactly. Good point. Very good analogy, Heber. So hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's so good to see everybody. I'm so glad, if that makes sense. So essentially part of it, you had a weird day today. All of my days just weird. Yes, the energy right now specifically, and I'm glad you're here. The astrology is also, I'll definitely start recommending like some of my favorite astrologers, but if you listen to what they're saying, the ones who know what they're talking about, yes, we have, I think today we do have a Mercury retrograde, but that's not like, I think, the prevalent energy right now. I feel as though all the things we've been working on, like in August and September, and then part of October, those layers are starting to like peel off, and we're moving into a much kind of a clearer place. So understand, when we're tapping into your Akashic records like we're doing now, what we're really doing is revealing what the work is you've already done. So here's the analogy. When you're working on something, you don't have to chase it to make sure it's gone. You've already done the work. So trust that version of yourself. Okay, everybody. Understand that now's a time to really focus on your breath work, grounding, and making sure that you just stay in place and observe. Like, don't make yourself too busy. That's hard, especially if you're someone who's been in the role of caretaker. But you have to trust the mission you're on, right? Thank you. And also, if you're from Group 7, welcome. A lot of people are doing the Group 7 now. I love that everybody is finding that. My life path number is 8, so I'm a Group 8. But I love all you Group 7s. I was saying that it's so cute. I think it's really cute. I think it's super positive. That's you. You're a caretaker. Absolutely. I love the Group 7 thing. I think it's wonderful. I really do. I tend to be on my own timeline though. I love the group sevens. I'm just an outlier in the sense I'm a number 8, but that's one of the reasons I'm a spiritual teacher, because I'm always like, yeah, I love that you had a great day. Your daughter visited you. I'm so happy. Orbs to visit. I'm so happy. That's awesome. Okay, so again, we're in the Akashic Records. Oh, do you know about this? You know about the number 7, group 7? Have you heard of it? Maybe someone in the chat here can explain it. I know I'm in group 8. No, I'm not in group 8. I'm in number 8. I'm not really in the group thing. It's just not my thing, but I like that everybody else is. Okay, here we go again. We're in the Akashic Records, guys, and your group. Well, we say hello to group 7. We love you guys. You're welcome here. Here we have good fortune. Again, this all has to do with you guys manifesting the thing you said you wanted, right? Yeah, you're a hard group 7. I like your group 7s. I'm not really in a group. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing my own thing, but that's me. You have to understand I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart, and I'm a teacher, so I kind of do my own thing, but I love that for you guys. Love it for you guys. And if you feel welcome and at home with nice people, I'm here. And then we're working on the karmic path. Hey, Nevermore Aries. Good to see you, girly girl, Tammy girl. So then we also have the karmic path. Okay. It's a little hard to see that. You guys got that karmic path. So I just want to go back. Okay. If you guys are just joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're a Scorpio teacher too. Yeah. I have a ton of I don't tend to be a groupie person. I'm a group person with my friends, but not so much I don't tend to go jump on trends, but I'm happy for everybody if they're happy about it. So I digress. So we're just finishing doing the Akashic Records reading. This is a collective reading. If it resonates for you, amazing. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. And if you guys are new, just a quick introduction. So my name is Carey. I'm a medium and a mentor. I am a teacher. So, and I've been doing readings and teaching and trained since for over 35 years. I take a pretty grounded approach to spirituality, but I definitely believe in quantum energy healing, things like that. So I'm an evidential medium, and whatnot. So, but I work a lot in the Akashic Records. That's one thing I specialize in. So I'll be talking bits and pieces about that. Okay. So every Friday at 5 p.m., rain or shine. Well, actually last week, you're welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So, quick note. So I go live every single Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, except every now and then, a couple times a year, I do have something else going on, like I did last week. And I do collective messages. That's what I do on this live stream. Okay. And these are for the people that you would say you're on your spiritual path. Now, you don't have to be on the same spiritual path as everybody else in this chat. That's not important. This isn't a group thing. But it can make sense to you. Hopefully in these messages, it makes sense to you. A piece of it validates your journey, gives you some light, insight. Some of it may resonate, some of it may not, and that's okay. We don't want to try and make it fit. But I'm finding it really helpful to help channel these messages for you. People find a lot of light and insight. So I hope that feels good to you. The other thing is I am live streaming also on the tube. So if you want to have that experience, you can come follow me here. That's absolutely wonderful. So we're going to continue with our readings now. Guess what we're going to do next? Next. We're going to go to the zodiac readings. Okay. So these are kind of fun. So I'm going to just see if there's anything else in the Akashic Records before we move on. I kind of jumped out of that pretty quickly. Yes. So she said, what cards? I'm going to keep going. So first of all, we got the shadow card. So this is what we were talking about for the Akashic Records message, everybody. We were saying that this is what I was picking up on. I picked up on this yesterday. Okay. Karmic path. Okay. You're so welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for the gifts, you guys. Also, this is, where are we? Good fortune. Okay. I'm going to talk about that. And then we're talking about boundaries. So what I was getting in the Akashic Records for this collective, if this resonates, again, if it's okay if it doesn't, is that many of you right now have gone through August, September, and a bit of October, really digging in deep and pulling up a lot of shadow. And also probably getting to a point on your path where you've made inroads on your path, feeling like you're moving in this path, in this life direction, and that feels aligned for you specifically. But also you're at a point right now, if you're feeling a little bit nervous, a little anxious, and you've noticed some stuff coming up that you've already supposedly worked on, it's just a matter of a layer of it coming out of your energy field. Okay. It doesn't, if you're working on something specifically, and you're like, wait, I thought I already worked on that. You have, you're just at another layer with it. And I think, and the thing that the guides and the Akashic Records are talking about is to not just observe this energy moving out of your field of awareness. So it's moving out, right? It's moving away from you. And it's a process. The thing about when we're, and this is, you are shifting into this, I like to say it's into the clearest version of yourself, right? So this lifetime for most people, okay, if you're sort of on your spiritual path, generally everyone has a different way to get there. Some people follow different practices, and that's wonderful. But what it is mainly is a lot of us are raising, thank you, Kim, I appreciate you. A lot of us are raising our consciousness in this lifetime, which means that we're moving through blockages. We're moving through old, like, family patterns. We're moving through past life trauma. And it's not just a one past life, it's many of them. And some of them have collective accumulated, you have different themes and roles. So this is something I do. I'm a past life regressionist, and I also work in the Akashic Records. These are things that I work on a lot with clients, and also I train people to work in the Akashic Records. So I'll talk more about that over time, but essentially when I'm getting messages for the Akashic Records for all of you, and if it doesn't resonate, know that it's totally okay. You have to listen to yourself. I usually am going to bring forth, thank you so much, Christy. Thank you for explaining the group 7 thing, Amber. I can't break that down without going off track too much. Thank you so much, Christy. So you want to think about where you are on your spiritual path, right? And you want to think about how can I best be in alignment with my intuition, with my highest, with the highest choices I can make. Some people say the highest timeline. I actually do believe in choices and timelines. I'm going to be honest with you, because I work in the Akashic Records all the time. So you can choose what direction to go based on that. You are in no way at the mercy of patterns or your energy. You can make changes. So no, that's true. It doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, but it is absolutely possible. Okay. So next, so you guys can see we're going to move from the Akashic Records reading. So the message, again, to clarify, is that we really want to know you've already done a lot of the work. And if you feel a little bit anxious or something's coming out, right, that seems like you're thinking, I've already thought I put my intention out. I already thought I did the work. You did, but now you're just shifting. Okay, it's shifting out of your aura. So it's in the outer edges of your aura. Okay, that's what I'm getting. All right, we'll see if there's anything else. And then we're going to move on to the zodiac messages, which I'm super excited about. Okay, we've got the fire sign and then relief. The energy of fire, which is transmutation. Okay. Got that, everybody. And then we have relief. So you see already, that's that validation that you are letting this go. It is leaving. It's not for long in your energy field. So next, what we're going to do, again, I do this every Friday night, 5 p.m. We sort of look at where we headed for the week. And this one, now we are going to be doing the zodiac messages. Okay, so here's what we're not going to go through all 12. Instead, everybody, what we're going to be doing is we're going to go through air, earth, water, and fire signs. Okay, and again, sometimes specific things. You're very welcome, Kim. Thank you for that. sometimes specific things will come out within this that are very, very particular to you. So feel free to resonate. And sometimes they are to do with things that are like relationships, finances. If I say health, I will say it in the terms of energy because I have to watch the words I use. And, things of that nature, maybe things to do with your journey, your path, career that might come up sometimes in these. Okay, that's very possible. Hang on, I'm getting organized. I have always a lot of things around. So we're going to start with the air signs. Okay, that's what I'm feeling pulled. So I'm going to see what cards. Okay. What cards they want me to talk about. So we're talking about Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. If this is you, either sun, moon, or rising, this could also be Venus. Feel free to take it. I also like to say this could be those of you with a North Node and air sign. This could be North Node air signs. Okay, friends? We have a lot of air signs up in here, so stay tuned. Okay, let's just see what they want me to do. Okay, I'm feeling a lot. Okay, here we go, air signs. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards for each. This is going to be to do with, I think we're going to be looking, this is for this coming week. And if the message resonates, fantastic. Just things to be aware of. I'm going to pull a few cards from each deck. That's the way they like to do it. Sun and rising Gemini. I see you. I do love a Gemini. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we have, guys. Ooh, for right away, we have the Seven of Swords coming out. A lot of swords coming out for air signs. A lot of swords. Okay, so the first thing, air signs, which is not surprising for sun, moon, rising in air signs, or also Venus, North Node possibly, or if you resonate. I want to say right away, I'm getting a lot of the intellect coming in. Right away, we have a lot of the intellect. We have a lot of, I'll show both sides this. I'm also on the tube of you. Thank you so much for that. So we have the Seven of Swords and also the Five of Swords. This is exactly what I was talking about, everybody. So we're in our head a lot. This is the thing to be mindful of. We are stressed. We feel a sense of worry. We're over intellectualizing. There's an opportunity here for you to learn to breathe through this, air signs. So I can feel the pressure on my crown. I can feel it blocking my third eye. I can feel it in my throat. A lot in the upper chakras, everybody. So this is, again, if you're just joining us, welcome. We are at the point in our collective readings of doing the zodiac. I've brought everybody together. If it resonates, wonderful. This is for sun, moon, rising, and a prominent air sign. Could also be Venus. So there's a lot of a real temptation to over intellectualize. And to step ahead of yourself a little too far. This really goes completely in with the Akashic Records message is what I'm getting. So it feels to me like we need to really kind of understand that we are not our thoughts. Our thoughts are not us. They run through us. They are a part of us. And they do definitely have a sense of like a purpose. We need our critical thinking and our intellect, but we have to understand sometimes our intellect gets very triggered when we are releasing something like what we were talking about, or we're going on a journey and we're exploring something. So for those of you who are maybe taking new steps in your career or in relationships or thinking about moving or trying new things, your intellect is going to be a little bit churned up right now. I mean, and so just pay attention to that, air signs. I'm really feeling like it makes me feel a little bit anxious. Now I'm a Libra. Yes. And so that comes up for me in some ways. That's my sun sign. So it kind of I can feel it in my own energy. So if that makes sense to you, awesome. So just taking a look and almost like you are not over relating to the mind that might be spinning, if that makes sense. Okay. We're also getting this beautiful card this is called a hummingbird in languor. Yes, that could very well be part of that. Yep. Gemini, that's you. You're an air sign. So we have the hummingbird in languor. We'll read more about that. Okay. So let's take a little bit of a note. So I have with some of my oracle decks, I really like to learn a lot, and so does most of my community. And this particular deck is called the Kantaji Oracle. It's a very smart deck. So if you're wanting to like if you don't read tarot, or if you're interested in oracle, what you can do with a deck like this is it shows you a lot of different things about a single card. And this is one of those decks. It's a smart girls deck. Here we go. Yeah, CoStar is great. So this is the Kantaji Oracle. It is fantastic. It is just like, it's so well put together. I always like to tell people I don't have it they don't sell it here, but it's one of the best. So I'm going to read parts of it to you. Again, this is for the air signs. That's the second hummingbird you've seen today. I love that for you. I really do. I love that. So we'll get a few messages about this. Again, if you guys know me, you know I'm a teacher. So I tend to kind of, intellectualize. That makes a lot of sense. I tend to like to read. So that's not always what TikTok likes, because people like to get information quick. So I'm an educator. So hopefully you'll stick with me for this part. So if this is for, again, the air signs, we've got the hummingbird, but it says a hummingbird in languor. All right. What is this? Is for air signs. Here are the key notes. And this makes a lot of sense. Well, stick with me, Dee Dee Brown. So here's the keynote of this. Remember, we're seeing a lot of swords, and that is the mental plane. Okay. So here are the keynotes. Curb impatience. Come to rest until conditions improve and ripen, as they surely will. Isn't that amazing, you guys? So here's the symbolism. Now, if you buy this particular deck, there's like 6 pages for each card. And it goes into symbology, guidance, keynotes, what it is as an icon, as a portal, practice, creative prompt, and ecological connection. Amazing. We'll just stick with a few parts of this or I'll be here all night. So hummingbirds' hearts beat as fast as 1,260 beats per minute. When the weather is warm, so the weather is warm and mild. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I was itty bitty over there. I have a special screen over here. Here we go. Okay, let me go again. Thank you, Amber. Okay, hummingbirds' hearts beat as fast as 1,260 beats per minute when the weather is warm to mild. In the winter, however, hummingbirds can slow their heart rate to 50 to 180 beats per minute. This puts them into a torpor that helps them survive the cold. Once the world warms up, they return to their usual speedy heartbeats, whirlwind wings, and nectar gathering. So the guidance here, okay, we'll get to the simplicity of the guidance for all of the air signs. You're so welcome. Wow, this is good. I know. See, I can go down a rabbit hole with this. In many modern cultures, you are conditioned, here it is, to act, think, assess, plan, and act some more. This is so timely. Okay, again, this is for air signs. The supposition of this cycle of constant action is that you yourself are in control of your fate. In actuality, that this is true only to some extent. In each moment, the only control you have is how you respond to your current external and internal conditions. Okay, so I could go on, but I won't do it because we'll be here 2 days if I do that. But anyway, what I want to say is that goes in perfectly to what we were just talking about, okay? For the air signs in particular, but all of us really, we are definitely in a place of, we have to learn. We have done the work to create the manifestation. And now we need to let the divine spirit work for us. So if you feel a sense of anxiousness, like, did I cover every part of the basis of everything I want to manifest? Did I do enough? You did enough. Okay. You've done enough is what they're saying. Here we're going. I also want to say, who did we pull as our goddess, right? Remember when I told you guys we pulled Kuan Yin, of course, and I said her word specifically is connected to mercy. Guess what card we just pulled? Mercy. We just pulled the card of mercy. So that's a double message. See how all this comes together, everybody? I'm getting the chills. This has to do with you letting go and having mercy for yourself, So that means you've done enough. You have done enough. You don't have to work so hard. And that's why Kuan Yin is coming forward specifically, right? She is one of the most merciful goddesses you're getting chills too. I love that. She's one of the most merciful goddesses if you are struggling with self-love and acceptance that you can call upon. Kuan Yin. Okay. Then the last card we got here is the beauty way. Okay. So that is definitely seeing yourself as beautiful inside and out. Okay. And then connecting with your own divinity. That's for the air signs, but everybody can take that. Okay. That's a very special reading for the air signs. I really love that. I'm getting the chills still. I love that. So wonderful. Okay. Let's move on. Let's move on to the earth signs. Okay. Again, we're doing zodiac for the week. If you're new here, hi. So if you guys don't know me, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. 333 on the taps. That's my favorite number. That's my number this year. My guides told me that's my angel number, 333. You're so welcome. So my name is Carey Koss. If you guys don't know me, I'm so glad you're here. Please be sure to say hello in the chat. I hope you can hang out with me. Please be sure to like and share. All right. Oops, there we go. We're pushing a little bit. Okay. So, and if you don't know me, my name is Carey Koss. I'm a medium and a mentor. I train a lot of people to develop their abilities. That's one thing I do, both with mediumship, with psychism, energy healing, but also I work a lot in the Akashic Records. Okay. So that's something that we can talk about over time and go talk about it because sometimes it takes a little bit of information. Good to see you all. Hello, Jen. Okay. Let's pull for earth signs now. So if you're new, we're going through all of the different elements. You saw 333 today. 333 is the number. I'm so with you, Amy. I love it. Okay, let's just see what we're pulling. Again, this is for earth signs. So if you have an earth sign that is sun, moon, rising, or possibly Venus, this is for you. Okay, Capricorn. Also, if you have a north node, possibly, you saw that today. If you have a north node in an earth sign, that's a very important thing because that's what you're ascending to. Okay, that's what you're working towards. Okay, again, we are pulling cards for earth signs. This is what we're doing. Okay, I'll show you guys in a second and then we'll talk about it. Now, just to let you know, if you're wondering, what are we doing in here? These are collective messages. I do this every Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm also live on the Tube of You, which has a very nice feel to it. So earth signs, Taurus, Capricorn, right? Taurus, Capricorn, I've got it. It's coming in at Virgo. My son's a Virgo. I should know that. Okay. All right. So, and then the next, we're going to do two more, and then I'll show you guys all this. Thank you guys so much for the follows. And I appreciate all of the taps and the shares. If you guys can help me, do me a favor. I have I tend to do little gift goals. If you guys can help me with my gift goal, that would be amazing. It mainly helps me on the algorithm, specifically with TikTok, because then it gets out to more people and just kind of helps my page particularly. So if you guys can help me with that, that's great. Thank you so much. So Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, this is for you. If you have it in your sun, moon, rising, or if you have it at your north node. Okay. Thank you so much, Stutz. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you guys. Again, these are just channeled readings. So if you guys don't know me, I'm so happy you're here. So I've been on my spiritual journey for 35 years. I'm a trained psychic medium, Akashic Records reader, and healer. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate you guys are amazing. So when we're here, I do as much as I can to serve the communities for your growth, your ascension, and your development. That's my intention always, but also from a grounded perspective. I do a lot of very interdimensional work, and I'll talk more about that at length, but I'm also super grounded. Very down-to-earth person, but a very down-to-earth teacher. And that's just part of doing it for so long. and being very in the world, but not of it. Okay, so again, earth signs, what do we know? Right away, this is really coming up for me, earth signs embodiment. We're pulling the sacred feminine here. We have the burning rose. Okay, I love this card. This is a brand new deck by Rebecca Campbell. If you haven't gotten it, you definitely want to check it out. It's incredible. And then the second one we have is the mystic. So all of you earth signs relating to yourself as, first of all, with the sacred feminine, that's one piece coming in, but also we have the mystic. So let me feel into this energy here, what we're getting. So one of the things I feel like that I'm sensing about this energy and what the wisdom is, and this kind of goes along with the message we were just talking about for the week, and is that, sometimes I feel like with my earth signs, we are kind of so caught up in the physical part of things that we don't always have the equilibrium between the physical and the spiritual, but not even just the spiritual woo woo, but the spiritual embodied in the physical body. Okay. How does that work? And one of the ways I'm getting for you guys that you can sort of start working on this, you can work on this with your guides. But one of the thing about working with the sacred feminine or any of the goddesses is that they can help you work on your spiritual, sensual, embodied energy. Okay. And what do I mean by that? Right. So this takes some education. So this is a simplification of this concept. But what we have to understand when we start working with goddesses, they have different aspects that they can support you on in clearing, healing, and bringing forth inside of you. So they can help you work on, of course, healing things that are from your past, but also they can ignite your own energy, your own current of energy for the divine feminine, the sacred feminine. So they can help you with your creativity. They can help you with your sensuality, your sense of you're feeling yourself. I have to watch what I say. And then just moving through the energy of like being a really good girl or feeling not as connected or being more in your masculine. They can help you with that a lot. And I feel like that's the message I'm really getting for my earth signs for this coming week. So think about the ways you can maybe call upon a goddess you feel a connection with. It could even be one of your spirit guides that can help you with embodying the sacred feminine and what that means. It's a journey. It's not going to happen overnight, but instead of relating as being a brain or a mind or just someone who does something in more the physical, we want to think about embodying that spiritual energy all the way down through your entire body, if that makes sense. So just bringing that concept into light. Now, one of the reasons I feel this way, that this is coming up, we're getting the Four of Pentacles and also the Seven of Cups. And then the last card with the astrology for again, the earth signs is the Knight of Wands. So this is a lot of energy of like, first of all, feeling a little stuck in a pattern or something physical and with not feeling movement and fluidity as much, but then also not knowing what direction to take with the Seven of Cups, because the Seven of Cups makes us sometimes feel like, whoa, I'm overwhelmed. What do I start with? Do I do yoga? Do I do Tai Chi? Do I do pole dancing? And there's nothing wrong with that's amazing. How do I embody it? And I think the main message is do the thing that sort of makes you feel excited, that makes you feel like, okay, I want to try this. All those things are way you're moving through, especially if you have a lot of religious programming about your body. Good. If you have a lot of religious programming and you have any shame-related subconscious thoughts about your physical body, you want to do something that's going to really help you feel that sensuality in a way so you can start releasing the judgment that you're carrying. And that will bring, again, we're talking about like embodied feminine spirituality. And this isn't gender related. Everybody has this trauma. Because we've grown up in Western culture with a lot of religious indoctrination. And so we are very disconnected from our sensual self. Either we're very overly sexualized or we don't know what it feels like. So finding that middle ground, earth signs, is really what I'm noticing for you. Then we have, This is just the gift that keeps on giving. Guess who's come up for your last part? This is for earth signs. We have snake encircles the moon. The snake is the embodied divine feminine. And the moon is the sacred feminine. Hello. I mean, hello, earth signs. I'm getting the chills. This is like one of those readings where like, boom, boom, boom. So if you want to think about it, and I don't want to go too much into this, but I'll just give you a little hint of some of the stuff I teach. I can't totally teach this freely on TikTok because there's people watching you. Just to let what you say, but I will say that think about the shame and the indoctrination of the feminine body and where that might have originated from. Okay, you with me on this one? And so you want to think about what was the snake? The snake was seen as what? You can put it in the chat. And so we want to think that is not what it is. In many pagan and sacred feminine based goddess religions, the snake was seen as a like enlightenment. And it was exactly a tempter. It's just like you seen as like a Jezebel or evil, right? You have to think about that. All you people out here, you've got to reclaim your sacred feminine, and you can do this through these relationships. I'm also very good. Look at this. This is my goddess deck with the snake, right? Think about the demonization of the snake. Okay. That is the sacred feminine. It indicates transformation. It represents the Kundalini energy. It represents embodied feminine. So that's for the earth signs. So let's get our feminine on. This is really actually great for anybody, really. Okay. Next, we're going on to fire signs. So fire signs, where are you at? Sun, moon, rising. Of course, we have a lot of good, yummy fire signs in here. We have my Leos, we have my Sagittarius, and we have my Aries. Okay, if you've got a sun, moon, or rising in there, let me know. Also, if you have it even in your Venus, your Mars, okay, it can be all those things. It doesn't have to be relegated. Okay, Leo, I see you. You got a lot of Leos here. Lorenda Carr, one of my besties, is a Leo. I have a Leo stellium. Okay. Also, this could be your north node, could be in a fire sign. Okay. If you guys are also wondering, I'm also on the Tube of You, so you can always join me there. I do long form content on the Tube of You channel. You have a Leo stellium too, Sagittarius, moon rising, Libra, Scorpio sun. Love it. Aries sun over here. Love it. So good. So happy to see you guys. Thanks for being on. Sagittarius. I have a Sagittarius moon. Gets me sometimes in trouble. I love it though. Okay, let's go into, we're going fire sign. We got a lot. Sagittarius, stellium, Leo. Oh, Leo, that's your Leo. Oh my God, I think I've heard that before. Love that. Okay, Kathleen is a Leo. Okay, let's pull for all our fire signs. What do you need to know? This is, again, we're doing collective readings for you'll see it right here for the zodiac signs. We are now in fire signs, sun, moon, rising. You could be Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. Okay, let's see what we got for you guys. Ooh, you're coming out right strong with the Empress and the Page of Wands. And guess who's coming to dinner again? The snake. So that is a theme, my friends. That is a theme, my ladies, or my gents, if you identify whatever you got. Perfect. So that's coming out, okay, for my firesides. Also, if you guys are interested, I do a lot of, thank you for the follow. I have a lot of content on the Tube of You. Okay. I do long form channeled messages on there. So those are timeless. So you can always go, make sure you're following me over there. Okay, here we go. What do we need to know for this collective of fire signs, please, Spirit? Okay. These are all collective readings, friends. If you're seeing me here, I'm so happy you're here, but these are for my collective, not for the individual, but take what resonates. It could be completely, it's probably exactly what you need to hear if it resonates. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Okay. Oh my God. Okay. So fire signs, where are we at? All right. We have a lot of amazing energy coming out, right? We have the Empress. This is one, and notice the Empress, right? You can check out all the detail here. Hello, if you are joining me on the Tube. All right. Then we have Page of Wands. That's some fire as well. But guess who's coming? We have the World card, but again, with the snake. So I want you to say, look out for, not necessarily look for snakes, because that would be a little scary, but look for the symbol of snake. Okay. Look at what it makes you feel like. Okay. What does that bring up in me? One of the biggest things about deconstructing any kind of group thinking or group religion is for us to think, what beliefs do I have around some of the symbolism and why do I have them? And so it's good to research that and find out for yourself what you think, because most of us have been programmed to believe certain things. But let's go a little deeper and think, where did this originate from? Was it from me? Was it from what I grew up with? Was it what society has always told me? And what do I believe? So it's good to explore these things. Again, here we go with our read. Okay, so we have that. Next, we're getting the masculine coming in. This is for the fire signs, but then connection. And then we have some fun ones here. We have every star is a doorknob, which I love that. And then we have you don't know where you are, but you are free. Now, this one's a little X-rated because she's in her birthday suit. So let's see. So the first thing I'm very drawn to is, hello, Odin, Athena. The first one I'm very drawn to is every star is a doorknob. Okay, this is coming to me soon. Okay, because this is reminding me of the Akashic Records. Again, we are talking to the collective here of, this is, I just got of star seeds. Okay, if you identify as a star seed, that did slip out. So, or the part of you that most of us have some stars. Hello, my Leo Dion. Okay, so what I'm getting here for you guys, particularly if you identify with being a fire, if you are a fire sign and a strong placement for you, okay, this is a really good time to consider doing deeper work on the patterns that you have that are ready to be released. Now, that's an easy thing to say because it's like, it sounds simpler than it may actually be. But I'm really seeing fire signs. It's a great opportunity for you this week to look at, just as a simple example, to ask yourself, maybe in quiet contemplation, what is the thing that I feel the most blocked about in this moment during this time? And you may not have all these perfect answers, but you can think of maybe if it's a topic or a way you feel. And then I want you to think about, and this is what I'm hearing, where does that reside in my body? Do I feel it in my body? And where do I feel it? And so I feel like for you guys, in this case, again, I'm talking to fire signs. If this resonates, only if it resonates. And if you have sun, moon, rising in a fire sign, possibly also Venus, I want you to think about, I feel like a lot of you have something going on in your third chakra right now, or possibly you have it somewhere else, but it's blocking or ready to be released. And so I would say, tap into that. Are you feeling a reserve? Are you feeling maybe you've been sort of shut down? Are you feeling you've been shamed or told you shouldn't do something? Are you feeling a little pressure when it comes to your own energy field? Okay. And that's where we want to be rewriting our history. Okay. That's what I'm getting with this, because this is, to me, the Akashic Records. We're talking about that energy of the star, which is our soul star, and then the book. So feeling like, okay, you can just ask yourself these questions. Where do I feel blocked and stuck? What's the primary thing? Where do I feel it? And what is it connected to? Just purely by you investigating and asking yourself these questions, already you start shifting your energy. You start changing your timeline. You start moving into the higher consciousness of the fifth dimension, which is the Akashic Records. It sounds fancy, but it's the Akashic Records. That is where your soul exists. The more you do that, the more access you have to your own wisdom, your higher self, essentially. And it may sound fancy. It doesn't need to be, right? Again, everything I do it as down to earth as I possibly can. That's just after doing this for 35 years of having many years when I was ungrounded and I was much more airy fairy. And now I'm much more grounded. Hello. So then here we go again. You don't know where you are, but you are free. Okay. I want you to look at this. This is the theme for you guys. The snake. We have another snake. We have freedom. There's a big thing here now with liberation, with these fire signs, are really for all of you, where your energy has been activated and you are ready to release these chains, these layers of energy, this programming. It doesn't have to take a long time. Okay. And don't let anyone tell you that. You can move through these things faster than you think. Okay. And that's actually not to keep overselling the Akashic Records, but that's what I do. So when you go into the realm of your own Akashic Records, you can learn to transmute energy faster because it's a bit, you talked about this today. Exactly. Exactly. So there's a sense here of you guys being very brave. That's really what I'm getting, right? And in this case, this is related to action for my earth signs. Okay. Sorry, my fire signs, because it says getting into your masculine, which is action based. Now, other two signs, I did not want that, other two elements, but this is a time of action, possibly moving through this. Also, finally, this is again for my fire signs. We are talking about connection. So this could be you connecting with your higher self, you connecting with your guides, you connecting with maybe a soulmate or someone you're very connected to. So this will help you raise your vibration in order for you to move through. Okay. Love that for you guys. So good. Okay. Here's the last one. After we go through this, we are going to be moving into reading for we're going to do ancestor messages. Now, yes, I am a psychic medium and I'm an evidential medium. I do that all the time. However, I do something a little different on Fridays. I get messages from your ancestors. For me, ancestors are usually any relative that's like 3 generations and above. This is a little different. So it's a little harder to validate and verify, but you'll probably feel it in your soul. So stay tuned. You'll see what it's all about. Okay. Yes. Now we've got water signs. Okay. So where are here we go. Scorpios, my Pisces, and my Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising. This could also definitely be Venus, or if you have a strong stellium in this placement, you should take it. Okay. Because here's the thing. People say, oh, it's only Sun, Moon, Rising. But guess what? It could be North Node. Could be a lot of things. All right. Let me just move my mic up a little. So let me know, where are you at? Scorpio. I have a lot of planets in Scorpio. So I'm here with the Scorpios. I am, and also you guys make sure you're following me over on the Tube of You. I have a lot of videos that they're long form videos. So you should definitely check out. And I have a lot of readings on there. They're timeless readings. Okay. If you guys are interested, just make sure you're following me, liking, sharing. If you're new, I'm so excited you guys are here. So my name is Carey, Scorpio, and I'm a medium and a mentor. I've been a developed psychic energy healer and medium for over 35 years. I'm a teacher, mentor, coach. I do readings, all of the things. And I'm so glad you're here. Okay, here is the last reading for this. And then we're going to move into our ancestor message, which is more guidance, wisdom, things of that nature for the collective. Okay, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I do this every Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we're just looking at messages you need to have today. Oh, Timmy, how are you? It's so good to see you. Rising and North Node in Cancer. Yeah, you guys make sure you check your North Nodes, because your North Node is what you are ascending to. Okay, so my North Node is also Cancer, just like Amber's. So I'm looking at how am I embodying that more. Okay, all right, here we go. Water signs. Water signs, what do we need to know for this week? Okay. I'm feeling a lot of energy in the 5th chakra. I'm so glad I'm so happy, Jetta. That makes me so happy to hear you say that. I'm glad it's helping. That's what I'm here to do. Ooh, I'm already liking this. The tea is teeing. All right, here we go. And if you guys are also interested in private readings, you can always go to my where my picture is, or you can do Service Plus, or if you're over here on the tube, you can definitely just reach out. Okay. I'm going to be doing, you guys, I'll let you know, I have some really good offers coming up in the next month, especially around, I almost said Good Friday, Black Friday. Those are like my big specials. So stay tuned. I also have some very exciting programs I'm doing next year. So stay tuned in the early part of next year. And then I also do mentorship and all that. So stay tuned. I have a lot of things. Whoa. Water signs. My goodness. Okay. First of all, water signs, it's coming in. You're coming in hot. So here we go. We have the Hangman, which is actually in the element of water. I don't know if you knew that. And then we also have the High Priestess, which is an energy also too of water. Very, very wonderful there. Okay, then we also have the Queen of Swords bringing levity. Okay, that's the first thing. And then we have some amazing oracle cards too. So I'm super excited about this. So what do we know about if you're in a water sign? Okay, Sun, Moon, rising could also be North Node, or could be your Venus. So just pay attention to those things. See if this resonates. The one thing I want to say when it comes to, I feel like some of you, and this is the first out of all of the signs, I'm feeling more of a subdivision breaking down of each of the different, this is where they're pulling a fast one on me, my guides. I'm getting a more of a breakdown of the energy of Cancer, Pisces, and also Scorpio. So, because you're not all in it, you're in a collective, but you're not. So I'm sorry I didn't do this with everybody else, but I had to do what I had to do. This is what they would do for me. So Cancers, if you have Cancer placement, this is what they're showing me. You're carrying a lot of burden on your shoulders right now. This is what I'm feeling, like a pushing down on your shoulders. There's a heaviness of more emotional energy, right? And also kind of feeling a little bit dampened. That's what I'm sensing here with the Cancers. This is a really good time for you, specifically Cancers, to go do something physical that's very nourishing for you. So if you can do some type of gentle exercise you really love, this is what I'm getting. I also feel like it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe get a massage, or even go get a pedicure. You need something physically that's going to help you release the emotional energy. That's really what I'm getting for the sign of Cancer. Okay, that's what they're showing me. And I'm also feeling like you have been okay, perfect. You have been feeling like you want to wait for something, Cancer. And I want to say, don't wait too long. That's what I'm hearing for you. Okay. Pisces, normally I don't break them all down, but that's what they're giving me. I do what they tell me, basically. Pisces, I'm getting kind of some compression in your chest a little bit. So it feels like we've got some pent up emotions, possibly Pisces. Okay. And I'm feeling like you've been filtering a lot of emotions through your physical body, and not just your own, but other people's. That's what I'm feeling. Also, if you have been experiencing, if these are for people that where you've been feeling warmer than normal. So even if you're even before your way perimenopause or perimenopause for Pisces, I'm feeling like pay attention to that. And it may be just something that you're floating through. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going into that sign, but that this is really indicative of you are processing something. That's what I'm hearing. This is the way you as a Pisces process things as you move it through your physical body. So being aware of that, I'm just going to give you that. And then finally, Scorpio. And I know Scorpio as well, because I have a lot of planets in Scorpio, but there's a little bit of a no nonsense. And I feel like you're a little bit tough on yourself right now. So you're being restrictive in yourself and a little judgmental, and you may not feel like you are, but you are. Okay. So they're saying to you, take a breath. Okay. Take a breath. It's a little intense right now. So just be mindful to be gentle. Okay, so that really comes through. This is again Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. All this energy is amazing, really together, but the lack of patience you guys have for yourself is a little bit extreme. Okay, because you're expecting yourself to be somewhere where you're not just ready to go yet. Okay, water signs. Give yourself grace, because I'm feeling a lot of constriction in the throat chakra, and you're being a little mean to yourself. Okay. So let's try and be kind. Oh, this is good. Again, this is Rebecca Campbell's new deck. I don't have it attached because it's not here, but here it is. So I'm right, Amy? Right. Look at this card, projection. So you're projecting out water signs. Isn't that beautiful with a mirror? So for me right away, what that looks like is that I said this, you're being too hard on yourself. Yeah, she has a brand new deck. She has a deck that's for altars. It just came out. Incredible. I have it on my Amazon shop, but I don't have it here because I don't have it here. But so projections is you projecting out into the world something you believe to be true, but I don't think necessarily is. I'm also feeling a lot in my throat chakra and in my heart space and in my third eye. Also, we're getting this. The end is also the beginning. Okay, so you're coming to, this is like the world card. You're coming to the end of a cycle. You're moving away from where you have been into where you are. This is a beautiful time for you, a water sign. So give yourself some grace. Again, we're going with the card of mercy because in this reading, we specifically channeled Kuan Yin. So she's really like the goddess for the week. Again, you'll see me. If you come back and see me every week, you'll start to see there's a pattern of what we do this every single Friday at 5. We have, these are the messages right here we get. And then I'll give this to my, there we go. We do channel messages from one of the goddesses. Okay. We do an Akashic Records message every week. We do a message that's from the zodiac signs, which is what we're finishing now. And then we do an ancestor message, and I'll talk to you guys about that in a second. Okay, the last two. Oh, interesting. Okay, first of all, look at this. Intelligent tentacles. This is for my water signs. We got the octopus. And then we have the unburdened bones. Now, this is a very well thought out oracle deck, and this is the name of it. We don't sell it here again, but it's called the Kantaji Oracle. Okay, it's one of the best thought out oracle decks ever, and it's very meaty. If you want to get into, if you like oracle decks and something that has a lot of different ways to use this as a prompt, or it has just in each card you get keynotes, symbolism, guidance, as an icon, as a portal, okay, practice, creative prompt, and also an ecological connection. So if you're someone who likes esoteric studies, this is the deck for you. Okay. This is the deck for you. I'm going to read a little bit about it. Then we're going to go into the ancestor messages. And if you guys are new, welcome. So my name is Carey. I'm a medium and a mentor, and this is my group weekly collective messages. If you want to get a reading with me, I'm not doing them tonight for paid readings, but you can either book private with me. You can also look at my other options. I'm going to start probably doing ones like mini readings that are more direct or channeled or something that I can send to clients within like a couple days. I'm going to start doing those more. Okay. Here's the final one, number 46. All right, friends, thank you for being here. And thank you guys for all of the taps, the likes, the shares. I appreciate you. And thank you for following too. If you're new, please say hello in the chat so I can say hello back. Okay, so here we go with the unburdened bones. Okay, friends. All right, here are the key notes. Again, this is for water signs, water placements. Enjoy the freedom and lightness of returning to your core values and to what is essential in your nature and in your life. Wow. Wow. Okay, here's the guidance. The archetype asks you to, at least for a moment, free yourself from all that is not essential. Another way of expressing this is return to your essence. This phrase is uttered so often that it's easy to grow numb in its wisdom. However, this archetype helps you access the essential process through a back door gently and easily. For me, this leads really well into the ancestor work, to be honest with you. That's what I'm vibing with, and that's the next part of our reading is connecting with the ancestors, which is a different type of message. It's different than mediumship, just so we know. I am a medium. I do that all the time. But these readings are really more for your spiritual growth. Okay. If you guys are new to my page and new to me, I'm so excited you're here. These are weekly collective readings. I do them every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be sure to sign up. Thank you so much, Sacred Intentions. I appreciate you. But the message I'm getting right now, especially, so that was for our water signs. Thank you so much. So here's what I want to say. So many of you are obviously on your spiritual path. And so doing what we can as a collective to support each other. But also my intention with all of you is to help give you any tools, tips, tricks, channeled messages, guidance, and validation on your path so that you can really discover what works for you. Because when you discover what works for you, that's when you're really resonating in alignment with with who you came here to be and who you are. So all the work I do is based on that. Okay. That's what I do. Okay. And that's all. There's, layers to that. So if you're interested in that kind of education, support, information, mentorship, stay tuned. Be sure to reach out. Okay. Now you'll notice the last section is an ancestor message. And some of you and many of you are developing mediums or mediums. So this is can sometimes one loved one can come through, but typically my intention is, and what I tell my spirit guides is that this is for a collective of, and this is an ancestor message. This is different because it's usually 3 generations and above, and it's more of a collective unified message. Okay. So take what resonates. Understand though, your ancestors, yes, your loved ones too, but your ancestors also want for you, for your love, for your healing, for your embodiment, and for your own spiritual path. So understand they're really here for you to help you. So this is a perfect time of year to really connect with them, which is during this is Samhain, but it also is during, thank you so much. This is also during the fall equinox. This is when we say the veil shifts, and the veil does shift. But really as we go more within, we're not as focused on the exterior. Your loved ones and ancestors are always around you. They never go anywhere. But what happens is, depending on where you live in the, either in the northern hemisphere, or Emma lives in the southern hemisphere. So her veil is always there. But if you're that, it seems like it might be different, right? But your ancestors, your loved ones are always there. It's not just because the veil is lifting. It just is because we're going more within, the days are longer. It's inducing that. Okay. So I'm going to pull and just see what ancestor messages come through. Really, it can be anything, to be honest with you. It can be anything. And it also can resonate with some people in the collective. So just see what we get. Okay. So I have a couple, ancestors are coming in. They know to come in as a collective or be surrounding us, right? But one of the messages that's really coming through from them as a collective, okay, has to do with being brave. And what this really feels like to me is that many of you, see if this resonates, are at a point in your life where you're going to be making a leap, a jump, or taking a risk, as it were. It feels like you're taking a risk to do something maybe you haven't done all the way. You've been thinking about it. You've done it partially, but you're thinking about taking more of a leap, crossing the bridge is what they're showing me. Okay. What that looks like for you, it feels like it's bringing up anxiousness. And this goes back to the very beginning of what we talked about today, is that you've done the work already, right? So if you're feeling like, put it in the comments if you feel like this is you. So, and I'm really getting an image of a bridge. This has been coming up quite a bit in my collective readings. I see you guys crossing over a bridge, many of you, but honestly resonating. Okay, good. So honestly, it's sort of like, I don't know, what would this look like? Is it going to happen? I'm a little nervous. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. You keep getting messages like this too. Yes, definitely in the collective thing, right? So what does that mean? That means what, first of all, I'm glad that makes sense. It really does mean that you are really taking this into a resonance. Yep. So I've done the work and now fresh. Exactly. So I want to really say to you guys specifically, yeah, this is where it gets a little where the rubber meets the road, and it's a little bit more difficult because some of us haven't gone to the places we're going to be going. So we then have to work on things like grounding, our breath work. We have to learning to let go, learning to get that kind of support. And this is really, Jenny, this is where specifically you can ask your ancestors for help. Because your ancestors, many of them have already been where you have been. They've already crossed the bridges. They've already done the moves, right? They've already made the mistakes. They've already journeyed. So they can help you as a spiritual support differently than any other spirit. And then anytime when you work with your ancestors, you always want to say this message. This is what I learned from my friend and my ancestor mentor, Keisha K. You always want to ask for your benevolent, uplifted, and enlightened ancestors, those that are going to be able to help you unconditionally in the most highest way for you. Okay. So again, this is all about you guys being embodied, having courage, asking to, have faith. What do you need to know? What's for your highest good? Being in communication with them. This is a big part of what your ancestors have already, helped preceded you, right? They've come before you. So that means that this is a time now for you to sort of lean on them, especially when you're not feeling sure. Okay. That's what we're getting. That's what's coming in from them. Let me see if there's anything else. Yes, the word is brave, and then the word courage. This is a big thing. And it's interesting because every time I pull the strength card in tarot, many of you know the strength card, which is the card with the woman and the lion. Instead of seeing the word strength, I keep seeing the word courage over and over. And so it's like the word got replaced. It's very interesting. All right. Okay, everybody, that concludes our live stream, which we do every single Friday night, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is pretty much what we do every time. So make sure you set your clocks to it. Again, most people know me. I do a lot of one-on-one readings. I'm not doing them tonight because this is live stream night. I might be on either tomorrow morning. Oh, you're so welcome. It is so my pleasure. It's more than enough. I do it on both here and on YouTube because I'm live streaming on YouTube. I'll say that now. Hopefully they won't ding me for that, but they might. But I'm on YouTube as well all the time. And there's a lot of content on this channel, on the tube of you guys, just so you know. I'm so glad you liked it, Kathleen. I have a lot of recorded readings. I just uploaded a 15-minute reading, right? And if you're interested in, any of the things I do, stay tuned. I'm going to be talking more about the Akashic Records. If you guys would like that, we might even do a little work in there together. Maybe we'll do a little meditation or something. I release videos on there. But I do a lot of this type of work, past life healing, connecting with your guides, deities, ancestors, developing your abilities. I do all those things. So thank you. I just want to send blessings to you all. I want to thank your guides, guardians, and ancestors, your higher selves, for being here in this space, this sacred space, being so, oh, thank you, Jen. That's so nice. Yeah, I have guided journeys to go into the Akashic Records. So you can go. I just created a brand new one. If you're interested, I just uploaded one. I'm actually working on editing it just a slight bit. You're very welcome. You're very, very welcome. Yep. Take care. So I'll see you. Hello, Lorinda. There's my buddy, Lorinda. Make sure you guys are following her. She's one of my besties. Oh, sweet dreams. So I want to thank all right, Alabama, sweet home. All right. I want to send you guys so much love. Thank you for being here. Best day. I'm going to go make dinner. I'll see you guys. Stay tuned. I might be on live tomorrow morning. We'll have to see. I'm doing a big event tomorrow night, so I'm not quite sure how I'll feel. But thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you all. Thank you for all the likes, shares. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. YouTube. Thank you guys so much. You guys are amazing. I love you. I'll see you guys soon. stay tuned. And for everybody in Goddess Rising membership, I'm super excited. I've already gotten the next 2 months figured out for Goddess Rising. And you guys know I am kind of redoing Goddess Rising in a way to enhance it. So those of you who are in it with me, super excited about it. I have some really exciting stuff going on for 2026. So, all right. So much love to everybody. Thank you again for your support, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.